All right, do we have anybody sign up Visitor Assistance Forum, Pete? Anybody? All right. Good luck there. If you can just speak as loudly as you can. I don't think you got a microphone. You're more than welcome to get in front of the podium if you wish to. Anyway, thanks for coming. Please state your name and your address.
Okay. My name is Wade Steele. I'm the owner of Well Done Waterworks. We are a water well drilling and service company throughout this region. We have just completed the refurbishment of the pump station on the back 9 at the golf course. I can move closer.
It's agenda item. This is an agenda item, I believe. Yeah. So we'll get to you down at the agenda item. We'll get to you when we get on the item on the agenda. That way you'll. Yeah.
Oh, is it part of the agenda?
I believe so.
It had something about the contract at the golf course.
No, was it not on the agenda?
I don't remember seeing it. No. There's
13.
13?
We have an LC Martin.
Oh yeah, but he's talking about the.
He's talking about the golf course, the pump on the back, on the north side, Jack Nicklaus, the new pump and such.
Yeah, and that's not on the agenda.
We did not make the agenda, so. Who's that on
Number 13.
13 is the LC Martin.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I mean, you could probably go ahead and.
Can we try that mic again, Pete? No? Not at all? It's just either that or let him sit down over here and speak. There you go. Working now. Don't touch anything. Yeah. All right, try it now, sir. Yeah, you just got to probably get a little closer.
A little closer?
Yeah. You can move it to you, too. Oh, yeah, you may not want to touch it.
Smart man.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Please proceed. Thanks for coming.
So we were asked to rework the pump station at the back 9 of Devine. The pump station was built in 1988, the existing one that was there. It was tied to the pond. It was in very bad shape, and there was no redundancy. If the system went down, then the golf course had no water for those greens and fairways. So we subsequently went in and we had a very short window to take everything apart and put it all back together. So we could not, through the summer, we could not be without water. The golf course would start to suffer. So we constructively took things apart piece by piece, and we constructed a new wet well system, which you can see in the handout. The second page shows you what the original system looked like from 1988. Now you have a line shaft turbine that is installed with a variable frequency drive, and you also have the redundancy. We were able to save one of the older pumps and configure it back into the piping. That way, if for some reason the line shaft turbine goes down or needs service, then all you have to do is turn one controller off, turn the other controller on, and go right back to irrigating. Our main focus has been to keep water to all of the greens and fairways. We have been asked to look at the pump station for the front 9. The front 9 has a line shaft turbine. It was upgraded, I was told, about a year ago, but there is no automated control. The unit runs all the time. When the master valve turns off, the water is routed back to the pond. So that's going to definitely shorten the life cycle, and there is no backup. There is no default or redundancy for that system. So we are looking at rebuilding the redundant backup system for the irrigation of the front 9, and also we have put into the request for the budget to upgrade the front line shaft turbine with the same variable frequency drive. That way, when all of the sprinklers turn off, the pump will go to rest, and then as the sprinklers are turned back on per the zone, the unit will ramp up and send the water down the line that's needed. but it doesn't sit there and run 24 hours a day, creating more wear, more consumption, and it will prolong the life of the unit that's already there. If that unit has to be serviced, it can be turned off, and the secondary pump station that we're going to rebuild, it can come on. Now, it will be a lesser capacity, but in the middle of winter or summertime, if you need 4 heads to run, 5 heads to run, you will have that backup instead of being completely without water. That's what we want to prevent the golf course from going through, because we do not get the rains that we used to, and we don't want any of that to suffer, and we don't want to interrupt play or revenue for the city. So, if you have any questions, I can answer any that you might have. Or
Well, it seems like the part on the north side of Jack Nicklaus, it's not really the back 9, but it's close enough. So we shouldn't expect any more problems back there. Everything is...
No, that system is up and running. It is operating smooth. Also, while we were there, we were finding that the pond did not have enough water coming into it. We built this wonderful racehorse pump station, and we needed more water coming in to supply it. So while we had our equipment on site, we rigged up and pulled the second well, pulled the pump out of it. I had a pump in stock. We went back in and equipped it with new tubing, new wire, installed the new pump. So now we have twin water wells feeding the pond. The level of the pond is back up where it should be. That way our pumping system doesn't starve for water supplying it.
All right, great. We also have a golf course item on the agenda. Will you be speaking about the new pumps and such for the front 9?
I am.
Okay. I believe we might be able to incorporate that into the agenda item, since it does have to do with a review of the golf course contract.
Okay.
So if you have the time to wait till that comes about, probably a lot better to coincide with the agenda item. That way we can take action.
Okay.
But we can't take any action tonight if you're just speaking as a visitor.
Okay.
So, all right. Guys, y'all have any questions? You're welcome to ask them right now if you wish. Outstanding. Great job. I was there when you're all in the middle of all this, and I learned quite a bit.
Yes, sir.
And I sure appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have anyone else?
There's a list right here. You can skip it. It's coming up in a minute.
I'm sorry, what's that?
You can skip her. She's an employee. So we'll get her in a minute. Employee recognition.
Okay, so that was Ray just now.
People watching online and I'm getting texts that they can't hear that.
They can't hear anything? So it's not going into the iRig? Well, they're not going to hear.
It's sound. It didn't probably video, but I can audio. It's not muted, is it?
Well, I could see where they may not get from the podium, but
I think that's what it is, American podium. I think they can hear it.
okay, are they getting my sound?
They're saying they can't hear nothing.
Nothing at all?
Yeah. There's probably just one viewer that's online, so I don't know.
Hey, but she's good enough. Well, I know the library people watch it too. So, Pete, did they change any of the output going to the iRig?
No, everything should be the same.
Okay. All right. Well, that thing's been working perfectly the last couple meetings.
Yeah.
Well, we have no choice but to proceed, but it's not going to be archived and recorded.
Only on. We have these still.
Right. So you're positive we haven't changed anything on the inputs? Calling Eddie. Hang on, guys.
Why don't we just take a little break so we can fix everything?
Okay, let's wait and see.
You can hear it?
Here. Thank you.
You got it now?
Testing 1, 2. Can you hear? Hello?
I started it while he was talking. I could barely hear it, but I mean, I can hear. It's just not, I can hear.
Could you hear me speaking? No?
Step outside.
Yeah, right. They just have to really crank it up, I guess.
They shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
That iRig doesn't have a volume control, does it, Pete? Doesn't it come from the board? And all the connections are good?
Would it be this one?
Well, it has to plug into that. Okay, the board goes into the amp, all right, and then the signal will go out to the iRig and also the mains. So,
Where's the iRig should be RCA output? What's the deal with the models? Check. Can you hear? No.
I've heard you say that before. I'll concur with you there. I don't know. It seemed like it just... I am a big fan of putting closer together with this week. Yeah, just to do those stuff. Yeah. I don't know what's about to be. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. With all this private stuff, this is not a top priority. It's nice to have, but it's not a top priority. Right. But then it's specified much. Yeah. It's very vague. What about the wind? Like some tensions. I've been on with some top cost tensions. Oh, yeah. And then maybe what that is. There's probably more to it. Right. What's this, sir?
Yes.
Time I've been in charge of our budgets, it's like,
Oh, that's what worked inside here.
in August.
David George can't hear anything. He's on the phone right now.
I can hear anything to the video. Did I get anything?
It's like a bad time to... They don't
I can
understand.
sign anyway, but I ain't that great.
I agree. You know what I'm saying? I'm not opposed to it at all. Yeah, no, that's actually feedback I didn't thought about that.
Let's try that.
Driving through New Orleans Saturday or Sunday morning. It was only 2 or 3 in the morning. I heard that, but my wife got it. She decided she was confused on the highway, and then went down the canal. Boy, she said the amount of fentanyl walks, it was ton show. Like, oh, geez, how do I get out of here? Yes. You gotta be careful about what. So can you pull over? I'm like, you have all the guns, so no, I can't, because I have no way to return fire. Exactly. So I'm gonna help you keep out there.
Yeah, you can hear everything here. You're not hearing anything over there.
Can you hear me now?
That's what you said. Like a big city in Texas, you can't know where to go. Freaking highways are giant moves all over the place.
I mean, eventually, if you drive one direction, you're going to hit one of them.
Yep.
The New Orleans is a little different. You got like
assholes too. Oh my God. I'm a relatively aggressive driver, but man, they were everything around India.
Yeah, that's what you heard here on stage.
I don't know if people should feel wrong. What's happening here? Like, you should be fearful of me. Like, I don't have much to lose here. The truck's worth like $7,000.
Yeah.
You're just like 50.
yeah, that's exactly. They don't care, man.
I hear myself talking.
Yeah.
All right, we got got something. So let's just leave the iRig out for now.
It's got a delay, so I can't tell you.
Okay. It would appear that something got changed on the iRig. Okay, so without having the instructions and all that. Well, it's got volume. It's got.
It's a 3-minute delay, though. It's like
It's a 3-minute delay in accordance with our mouth.
yeah, maybe not 3 minutes, but
But at least it'll all be there.
Right.
So was that after we? That looks crooked there. Is it?
You know what?
It looks like it's slanted over there towards Josh here. We got Josh in center screen, man. Is it live or is it delayed?
So I can tell you I can hear all of you talking and mumbling.
Okay. All right. That looks crooked, man. Sorry. The library lady's going to get on me.
Okay, so put it back.
So is that before? Okay, was that after we disconnected the iRig?
What we're discussing a while ago.
Something different.
So that's definitely.
It's not live right now.
I know, but I'm trying to figure out.
Yes, you can see both ends of the table.
Well, they're hearing it now, right?
Is it working?
It's just got a delay. So yes, we can hear it right now.
Okay. All right. Well, we have. All right. Well, we have no choice. We got to move on with it. So at least we'll still have a audio record. Okay. Back to where we were so rudely interrupted. On council meeting signed to speak, we have Ron Richards, Brian Navarro, and Jay Dishman. But you guys are here for an agenda item, correct? Okay. We also have John Wilkins. Are you here for agenda item?
Yes.
All right. Got it. Okay, we need to put that on here if there's an agenda item that they're going to speak on. Okay. Chuck Jones. Gotcha. All right, sir. And then I can't read this last one. Oh, okay. Okay, so here, I got it. Okay, that's Willie. All right. Okay, guys. All right. So we'll get to you when we get to those agenda items. Okay. That's all we have right now. All right. You need a pen, please. I forgot mine. Okay. Okay. That moves us to agenda item number 4, public recognition. David, do we have anything? Council? Anybody have anything they want to recognize from the public?
No, sir.
All right. All right. That takes care of agenda item number 4. Agenda item number 5, employee recognition. We are here to introduce one of our new employee, Juanita Romero, Code Enforcement Office and Permits. David, please advise.
Yes, sir. As the fire department transitioned to new leadership, city contract with the fire department has been terminated. One area of concern that we needed attention was the permits department for the city of Devine. It's been lacking for quite a while. So Ms. Juanita Romero comes very qualified from the city of San Antonio from the department, and we have brought her on board to take care of the permitting within the office, be able to review our plans, talk to our customers, and continue to work with bureaucrats to ensure that we have a steady flow of information and processing of permits in a timely manner. So let's remember.
Hello. There's Steve here.
That's good.
Into the mic the best you can.
Hello, my name is Juanita Romero, and I'm coming from the city of San Antonio. I retired about 4 years ago, and due to COVID and other family circumstances. So I've been taking care of my grandchildren, who I'm raising, and I know Michelle Martin from the city of San Antonio also, and she knew that they were looking for someone for permits and code enforcement, and I've been 20 years of development services for the city of San Antonio. Also work for CPS Energy. CPS Energy is the only utility company that assigns addresses outside of the city limits, and so I'm very aware of the 911 services CPS Energy street names, addressing. I also worked in zoning. I did large area rezoning. I've done plats. I've worked with the engineers, Pate Dawson, the largest engineer company from South Texas. So I'm very familiar with many of the engineers and work with them. 20 years ago, they started as EITs, and now they're master engineers now. And so they saw my name come across, and so, hey, you're back. So, or I'm still in the business, rather. So I look forward to working for the city of Devine, and if you have any questions, I'm available.
Thank you, ma'am. Looking to see how you can streamline our efforts and speed things along.
And we're very excited to have you.
Thanks.
I've heard nothing but really good things.
Thank you.
All right, thank you much. Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Sure, go ahead.
I want to compliment David and our public works for first painting here. Looks great. So thank you for that. PD has been absolutely spectacular. The present, the professional, and balanced enforcement efforts of folks who are upset with getting a ticket, which I respond, wasn't your primary concern, people speeding through school zones, to which I say, you're right. And they walk away, you're right, I should have pulled over, I was speeding, they were professional with me, they weren't overly aggressive enough to fix the behavior, and I really want to thank you folks for getting after that. Excellent work. And lastly, I appreciate the thoughtful gesture you folks sent about October. So thank you.
Of course. Yeah. All right. Anything else, guys? An employee recognition? Okay. I can't remember if it happened before or after the last meeting we had, but we had those 4 water breaks. And as always, the work that the Public Works crew did was just astounding. They got on it, and we got all that covered. I just want to say how much we appreciate our Public Works Department getting dirty, down in the mud, down in the water, over and over, any time of day until it gets done. Apologize to folks up in District 5 for the water, but like I said, I think we made that clear what happened. Some valves didn't get closed or whatever, right? So, but anyway, it's all good. Thanks again, Public Works. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 6. Approve the meeting minutes from June the 17th and August 19th of 2025.
Do we need to make a motion individually to approve each?
I think you can do them both together if there's no objections.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for June 17th and August 19th without correction.
All right, we have a motion from Josh to approve the meeting minutes from the 17th of June and August 19th.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second from Ray. Discussion? No discrepancies? I didn't see any either. All right, all in favor? Motion passes 5-0. All right. Okay, agenda item number 7, a presentation of our cityofdevine.org website. Very excited about this. It's been a long time coming, a lot of work into it. So we have David, we have you, and then we have...
This will be me.
Do we have Audrey?
It's just blowing me.
Okay, all right. Okay, David, please speak, and then we'll... are you going to work the clicker over there? All right, David, it's all yours.
Yeah, so we have launched our much-needed, newly vamped, easy-to-use website. That was one of the priorities that we had when we came on board, and we finally got around to doing that. We got Pre-Bird Communications.
Hey, there's pictures on there.
That's Cowboy Mr. Al Lance.
All right, Hal, you got to start wearing that hat when you come to council.
And by the way, if you'll have a headshot you'd like to use, please send it over and we'll get it uploaded to the website as alderman. Some cities like to have their pictures and some cities don't. So anyway, we launched our new website. It's user-friendly. It's really easy to navigate, and we just launched it last week. All the directors had input and say so into the content of it, and they checked all the departments. 99% of it is active at this time. We do find a couple little flaws, but we're in contact with the website developer every day, and she's very responsive. So that website is very easy to navigate now versus what we had. So I think it looks good, and we've been receiving positive feedback so far. But everybody's welcome to have input, feedbacks, and to city administrator at citydevine.com. That's when I send the email out and put it on social media for any recommendations and updates. Ms. Randall came in or she sent me a message, and we got that corrected, and other than that, she gave us a thumbs up, so that's great.
Well, she's a tough critic.
Right.
She gave you a thumbs up. I'm happy. Quick question. In the past, I know we've always had a lot of trouble with people applying for permits and things like that. For example, when I remodeled my building and added on and so forth and so on, I had a heck of a time. I actually had to get Dora to help me on that. Mm-hmm. So is that a lot easier to use now?
It's a lot easier.
For a permit?
Right. It's the same program. iWorks software platform that we use, that we implemented about a year ago. It's the same platform. It's on a new website. We're in the process now of working with Encode and getting the payment feature activated so people can actually do everything from home. Currently, they have to come into the office and pay. They cannot pay online, so we're working on that issue as we speak. But other than that, it's very user-friendly. Fill out the information, upload their documents, come and pay the permit, and Mr. Romero will process them and get them squared away from there.
Okay. So we do have office staff that they get in trouble here trying to figure it out. They can do like I did and come in and...
Absolutely. Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Anything else? You got more? There's all kinds of stuff on there if you get a chance to check it out. I know I did. And it runs smoothly. It goes quickly to each one. And there's a lot on there. So I was very pleased. So you can pay your utilities on there too?
Correct. You can pay your utilities and go to court and pay your court. You can pay your court funds on there as well, and things such as that, if you so desire.
Awesome. And then, of course, our videos are archived on there also?
Correct. Minutes archived, videos archived. Everything that's required by law is uploaded to the system.
Outstanding. Councilor, have anything else?
God forbid we have another water main break, but if we do, is that going to be updated on there? Like a little report that's
right.
On
yes, sir.
Facebook?
Yeah, yes, sir. So we have a ticker that goes across the top where we can update information, and so short answer is yes, sir.
Can I ask where you find out about brush and bulk pickups and things like that? Because that's always been a question I've had too, like going online and so forth, looking at it. It just didn't seem readily available, and I haven't had a chance to navigate the site other than barely see it. Is that something that's easy to get to find the exact dates for those things?
Well, we have a calendar on the website that we're going to be updating events such as that when the brush and bulk pickup is scheduled and so forth. So we can put it there, and we can also put it across the top as a ticker going across the top during that time.
That'd be good, because I know that's been one of the things that the city has really kind of come down on, as far as people having things in the right of way, which is great because it does keep it all cleaned up. But if we're going to get tickets, then we need to make the information very clear at almost anywhere. Multiple layers of communication is what solves that problem, I think.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we agree. It's a tough road, though, I'm telling you. So, like I said, we put in the paper last week, and that it starts in November, around November 10th or so, and people start putting it out now.
So, I know, I think people were used to it being in October. My thinking is I remember it being in October. Really? It's like the bulk pickups, but I know it got moved. Didn't it used to be in October?
It did, yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think people were kind of expecting that, and then when it didn't happen, and I agree, it's get the information before you just assume that. But, you know.
Well, it was originally in October, and the reason why it was moved because it was too close to the previous. Okay, so we wanted to space it out a little bit and so forth. But in general, Jeff, they just pretty much put it out whenever they feel like it. So, and we're working on that. We're really trying to crack down on that.
I think people have been getting better about it.
It has been a little better.
Yeah.
It has been a little better. And
Thank you.
yeah. But we still got a ways to go.
Yep.
So, and then, all right. Anything else on the website, guys? Sounds good. That concludes agenda item number 7. Agenda item number 8. Consider and act upon the resignation of James Lawler from the Planning and Zoning Board and resignation of Nick West from the Parks and Rec Board and the Emergency Management Board. David, I'll let you explain this, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Jim Lawler has put his resignation for the Planning and Zoning Commission so he can join the Housing Authority Board, and Mr. Nick West has stepped off and resigned from the Parks, Recreation, Emergency Management Board due to job and a relocation, not available for service in this area.
Make a motion to accept both resignations.
All right, we have a motion from Josh to accept the resignation of James Lawler from P&Z and also Nick West from the Parks and Rec Board and the Emergency Management Board.
I'll second.
We have a second from Michael. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. The resignations are accepted. That moves us on to agenda item number 9, which is actually related. Consider and act upon approving the City of Devine Housing Authority Commissioners. David, please advise.
Yes, the Housing Authority Commissioners are appointed with oversight of the City Council, and they have had their selections. The selections are submitted and requested to be authorized through y'all to continue to serve on those boards.
And Mr. Lawler has agreed to be part of the Devine Housing Authority Board.
Yes, sir.
Which is why he's resigning from the P&Z Board because of possible conflict of interest. That is the only nomination for the Housing Authority Board, correct?
Yes, at this time.
Okay. All right. So basically, if everyone's in agreement on Mr. Lawler join the Housing Authority Board, then you have a motion.
Okay.
Hang on a second, guys. Hang on. We also need to re-up people, so I'll go ahead and announce that now. Okay. So, what's that?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, okay. All right. I, as mayor, hereby appoint the persons hereinafter named to serve as commissioners of the Housing Authority of the City of Devine, Texas, to fulfill the following terms until the expiration date as indicated. Maria Stanley, the term of September 30th, 2025 to September 30th, 2027. Jim Lawler, the same, September 30th, 2025, September 30th, 2027. All these are from September 30th well, we also have Mary Ewell, who's in an existing term, which went from September 30th of 2024 to September 30th of 2026, according to this, unless that's a typo. Okay. Dana Snyder, September 30th, 2025 to September 30th, 2026. Denise Morales, she started September of 2024, and this term will go September 30th to 2026. I hereby certify that the above designated commissioners are not officers or employees of the City of Devine, Texas, and I will sign once council approves.
Motion to approve nominations as stated.
All right, we have a motion from Josh to approve the nominations for the commissioners of the Housing Authority.
I'll second.
Second from Michael. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Today is the 21st.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Would there be any opposition to forcing another agenda item to accept the pilot check, or do you want to say that for the meeting?
Actually, I was just going to give an informational update that they did pay their annual pilot check.
Yeah, I think so. So they're good to go. All right. All right, next up we have agenda item number 10. Discuss and consider the police department organization chart with David and our new police chief. So, David, please preface.
Sir, as y'all aware, we brought on Chief Brown a couple months ago. He's taking a little time to do an evaluation of the police department and making recommendations on the organizational chart. Chief.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Council, everyone in attendance, Mr. Jordan. Been here a little over 60 days, hit the ground running, and it seems like as a department, we haven't slowed down yet. Within the first 60 days, been doing an evaluation of the police department and the way that it's structured and the efficiency, policies, and procedures of the department. Within these 60 days, Lieutenant Andrews and I came up with the organizational chart as far as, I don't know if you have it in your packet, the old, that's the new one, but there also should be an old organizational chart in there. So I took the old organizational chart there, and we created a new one to make it more functional as a department. The old organizational chart had the corporals, then going to lieutenants, going to Lieutenant Andrews, and then myself. The new one would allow us, I am proposing getting rid of the corporals and creating sergeant's positions to the lieutenant. And I'm coming before you today to ask for our next council meeting. I formally want to promote 3 individuals within the police department to the rank of sergeant for Devine Police Department. That will be currently Corporal Felisa Miller, Detective Eric Reyes, and Officer Edgar Villarreal to the rank of sergeant at our next council meeting, where their families and everyone can come and we can swear them in and a promotion ceremony, pin their badge, and things of that nature.
What were those that you just mentioned on the previous chart?
Sorry.
They weren't
on it?
There was corporals. There were corporals.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, there were 2 corporals. Now there's 3 sergeants. And then on the next budget year, will this involve a raise for those positions?
That is something that we may look into. We haven't went there as of yet, but that's something that we may look into to see where we can go with the budget.
All right. Well, obviously, we just passed the budget for this current fiscal year. So, okay. All right. And this is just informational, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Everybody get a good look at it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's good. All right. Looks good. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, agenda item number 11. Consider and act upon City Hall and Police Department facade improvements and grounds project. I can start this one. Well, we are proposing the council. We got an unofficial go-ahead a month or 2 ago. Okay, so we have rotted wood and weathered wood. We're going to have you on our entryways to City Hall, and we got a couple bids on how they can be refurbished and for years to come. So, David, I'll let you take over on the bids, please. And anything else that you want to say? Well, y'all got the bids?
Got one.
Okay. Well, that was this one you chose?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So this is just part of our continued effort to beautify the city of Devine. City Hall can use a facelift, as we're all aware. So we're looking at pressure washing the walls, cleaning them up, putting a new facade on the facility, putting a city seal on the building, and then put the word City Hall and Police Department on the right-hand side, so it's identifiable that the Police Department is around the corner at the City Hall. So went out for a couple of bids. This was the most reasonable bidder, and brought it to the City Council for consideration for replacement at the City Hall.
This bid here is just for the awnings.
Correct. It's for the awnings, and then the lights. The lights will be recessed instead of having the oblong square with the lights outside hanging down. They will be recessed up into the ceiling, and the ceiling will be redone and presentable.
Yeah, we currently have fluorescent fixtures that are tied together with bungee cords to stop them from falling down. So now it would have recessed lighting and LED lights as opposed to fluorescent. Now on what is proposed on the entryway to City Hall, we'll have an extended awning that will go out about 4 feet past the actual entryway, okay, which will allow more room in case of rain, et cetera, et cetera. But on the police side, that would just be the flat facade like it is now, but it will be done with powder-coated aluminum, ridge, and so forth and so on. That saved us a lot of money by not making that an extended awning. So, but that's all we have to bid for right now, is just on that work. We will proceed with the other stuff, the council's direction, as far as the power washing, possible staining of the brick if necessary, and all the other things once we get some more prices and then have some more quotes in that.
Our City Hall crews, to save some money, City Hall crews will probably do the power washing of the building as well as the sidewalks. And we're also going to put shrubbery in front of the building where there's currently rock and nothing there. So right against the walls in the front will be shrubbery, flowers.
Well, flowers are kind of tough, but there will be some kind of shrubbery there that will be suited for the climate. It faces almost due west, and then the heat bounces off of the brick. There are quite a few things that will be appropriate for that, but that'll be for another time. So, but anyway, I would like to have an agenda with regards, a motion with regards to the proposal we received. Very, very, very reasonable at $9,800 for those two awnings and the lighting and so forth. That includes everything. So, and also a redo of the wood underneath also.
I guess my question is, we don't know what the cost of the other, like the woodwork around the drive-through window and those kind of things. We don't have a bid on that yet, right?
That's right. I didn't add that in there.
Well, the woodwork on the drive-through was really simple. There's not an awning there. I don't believe. It's just some rotten wood on the sill and that underneath the windows. That would be. I think our public works group can actually do that part.
And B, I have no objection to this at all. I think it's a great thing. I guess my only question, if I have one, is really just about the timing, because we're just getting started into a new budget year. And I know we've talked about these kinds of concerns before. It's like we get started on a project like this, we don't know what else is going to happen. I don't know where this comes out of the budget. Those issues. I mean, should this be something we try to work on later in the budget year when we know we have the extra funds to do it and do it right? Or that's really my questions. I don't know where the money comes from.
Well, I think it was anticipated. It may not be an actual line item.
Is this decided on the slot funds or?
I just don't know where it comes from. That's my question.
You have lots of money for stuff.
We're going to have repairs and maintenance. It's basically repair and maintenance.
Well, I think to Jeff's point, this would be approximately a little bit less than 30% of our excess money budget. So does it come out of something that we were projecting, or is this out of that excess 34,000, I think?
Right. So it could come out of building maintenance. We do have a considerable CD coming up next month to consider for different projects that we've discussed earlier, kind of like the lighting and things that Councilor Alderman Hernandez mentioned. So it could potentially come from there as well.
Is that where Is that what you were saying, the renovations to the library? Is that where that's going to come to?
No, sir, that was already budgeted. We approved that budget.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's why I was asking that question, because I know the budget seemed to be pushing it pretty close. You know, there wasn't like these had a lot of extra funds. I was just wondering, you know, where does it come from? You know, and there's still a lot of unknowns as we move through the budget year. I'm just giving you my concern. It's not, I have no question about whether or not we should do it. Absolutely we should do it. That's just my question.
I concur, not opposed, but like my public playground last year, I'd like to see this executed near the end of the budget year, just to have the extra funding to pay penny purchases to pop up, maybe an AC unit runs out or something like that. Those are pretty big expenses.
All right, anything else, Council?
I don't see anything wrong with renovating with what little money that is. I mean, City Hall's been the same for the last time. It's never been, nothing's ever been added. Probably has been on for the police officers over there.
Well, I said they're
But that's about it. But, I mean, this is nothing compared to the face of that place needs. I mean, how long has that City Hall been there? 50 years, more than that?
more over that.
I mean,
Yeah. Well,
it's always been the same.
yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean,
it is rotting wood,
It is.
so it's not like it's.
it could get worse. I mean, once they
Light
tear it,
fixtures held on by zip ties is not good.
Yeah, I don't know if it's zip ties or bungees, or a combination of both.
Yeah.
So,
Fire hazard.
anyway, do I have a motion on agenda item number 11?
I'll make a motion that we approve the renovation for the City Hall.
All right, we have a motion from Michael to approve the listed facade improvements for City Hall. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Okay, we have a second from Hal. Okay. Council, I want to point out that this is a very simple project. I do not see contingencies built into this. It's going to replace wood with powder-coated aluminum. All right, and then it's going to have recessed lighting with LED lights to make it more secure in the evenings. So, anyway.
If you bring this back in July, we'll obviously have my support.
You mean that far away from now?
That's close to the end of the school year.
Okay. Well, all right. Any other discussion? All right. Okay. All in favor of the motion? All right. Opposed? All right. Motion fails 3-2. We have Ray, Jeff, and Josh voting against. Michael and Hal voting for. All right, agenda item number 12, review and discuss the Devine Golf Course contract. This is really pretty simple, just a review to check in with the Devine Golf Group, see how everything is going, and to examine the lease and things like that. So, starting off, how is everything going? Whoever wants to speak.
Hello, Brian Navarro here. Things are going well. We've had a really good 2025. Willie and I were looking at the numbers last night. Green peas, open plays up about 36%, so which is really good from last year. Yes.
Is that revenue? You said it was revenue or usage?
It's just green fees what we charge. So rounds played, yes, correct. You know, the well, the guys that from Well Done that did the work in the back, you know, that's going to help a lot. We've had some issues from the time that it was approved to the time they actually put it in, and it's going to, you know, help save us on electricity and the issues that we had. We'll be able to, you know, put more water on the course timely and not have to have those pumps running 24/7. Everything else, like I said, has been good. Last year was a tough year for us with, you know, equipment and robberies. We got broken into. It was a big hit. And then the weather, So, but this year was really good. Willie, Ron, Jay, and myself, we met a couple weeks ago and try to figure out what we're going to do this coming year and where we're going to put our money at. We do have some needs with equipment, greens, tree trimming, leveling out some tee boxes. So trying to figure out where we start, where we get the most bang for the buck, and continue plugging away. As of right now, we've done about, in 3 years, we've done about 40 plus events, tournaments for local charities, organizations, clubs, select leagues, and things like that. We've hosted Easter egg hunts, 4th of July, National Night Out, a lot of events. So it's not just a golf course, like we said in the beginning. It's for the community. We've had a lot of youth programs. We have a professional youth golf program coming into the area. They're going to have 60 plus tournaments a year for youth golf, and Devine will be on their schedule. Right now, Ray Gonzales Jr. and On Park Golf is heading that up, and I think we have about 4 events between November and February on their calendar already. So I know the kids are looking forward to it, and it's something we've needed for a long time.
Outstanding.
Hey David, can I ask what was the intent for this agenda item on here?
Well, that was my idea, okay? And I just feel, we've been doing all this work in the course, okay, like the gentleman mentioned earlier today. I wanted to get that out in the public, right? I want to be as transparent as possible. I don't want anything left out about our golf course, okay, because of the controversy we've had over the years. And I think it's, with all these things considered and everything going on, it's just good to report to us, okay? And then also, he already took care of part of it. Okay, I didn't know he was going to speak there. Okay, anyway, all right. And then we also have, before we proceed, a couple things. Okay, all right. You mentioned the tree trimming. Okay, do you have a plan in place for getting the time of year where trees need to be trimmed? Okay, and so forth in the fall. Right, and then December and January is a recommended time to do oak trees. Yep. So do you guys have anything in the works for that at the moment?
It's really just based on our, what money we have available. We have a member that trims right now, weekly, monthly, does a good job for us. I think in the last 3 years we've spent right at $50,000 in tree trimming. One of the issues we have is after we trim them, getting them to a spot and then actually burning it, which we've been in a burn ban for, all year it seems like. We had to rent a roll-off to get a lot of that picked up. That way, that was this year. That was just a month ago. So and it's made the course look a lot nicer. We've gotten a lot of compliments. Our membership is up. So, like I said, we try to get to everything. We try to, right now, I think we have other needs. Tree trimming is definitely on there, but, we have some equipment needs as well to take care of the course. Water was one of them, which was just fixed, so we're just going to keep going down the list. We will target some trees between December and February and try to get some old trees that are dead taken out. I know 17 and 13 and 6, I believe. There's a few, so we're going to try to get to everything as quickly as we can.
And how's it going in the clubhouse? I know we had an air conditioning thing last week. Has all that been taken care of?
We did. We're still waiting on a couple of quotes, I believe, from the air conditioner that runs the kitchen. So it was put in 2020, and it's just out of its warranty. And the one quote that we got was $10,000 to fix it, or $20,000 to replace it. Did speak with Pete a little bit about it as well, trying to get another quote. I think he had Colby in there last week to look at it. The air conditioner in the bar went out, and I think it was the fan motor. We did get that replaced and fixed, and it's up and running. So, but like I said, we're waiting on the one for the kitchen. Fortunately for us, it's starting to get cool, so.
So the AC in the kitchen is not working?
It's not working.
Yes, we should do that.
Yeah. So.
All right. That being said, I tell you what, just one thing I noticed on the contract. I'm just going to bring it up because we need to. The original contract suggests that you water as much as possible at night. We need to remove that. That's not a good business practice for a lot of plants and grass and so forth and so on. It could be at your choosing, but I mean, you don't want to water all this stuff at night. But it's in the contract. So, I mean, y'all have any problems with taking that out of the contract?
What time?
Yeah, I was surprised that I was reading the contract. Once again, it's kind of a simple thing, but I mean, the contract says you need to try and water at night as much as possible, which that's the thing you need to do the least is water at night on your grounds. It's in here somewhere.
Can I try to explain that to me? My thought process was it doesn't make sense to water outside at approximately 95 during the day to minimize evaporation.
All right. Tell you what. Okay, the recommended time to water grass. Okay, and especially like you have the greens and all this and that, is generally starting about 4 in the morning with your stations. Okay, and that way you kind of water when it's cool. Right, but then it also has time to dry out, because the worst thing you can do for your grass and for a lot of plants is to overwater. Okay, so if you water at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, all that grass is going to stay wet until the sun comes up the next morning.
Then you get like fungus, you get all kinds of issues.
I mean, you may or may not get fungus.
Yeah.
Fungus, okay, but with our humidity here, okay, it's just very possible.
It causes a lot of problems like that.
So, but the contract for some reason before says to water at night, and that's the worst thing they need to do. Okay? So.
Does the well have does it have ESD or has a timer? Does it have any kind of timer where you not water from like 9 to 12 or anything like that?
I can have Willie get up here and kind of explain how it works, but I mean, I don't know a golf course out there that doesn't water at night.
Oh, some do.
I'd like to know which ones get it all done between 4 and the first tee off, 4 a.m. and first tee off.
I'm just saying. So.
I think if you water it at 4 o'clock and you turn it off at 6, I mean, it's going to be soaking wet. I mean,
Willie Marquez here. We do have stations that are running. On the front side, we've got 3 satellite boxes that cover 3 sections of the course on what I like to call the south side of the course. And then on the north side of the course, where we just got the new well, that has 4 satellite boxes. The problem with that is, one, on the north side, we can only run so many heads before the water pressure drops, and now we don't have sufficient water to get to these heads. So these heads will start, they're spraying about 90 feet out, and if there's too many of them, they'll spray 30 feet, right? So then now we're not watering everything efficiently, right? So there is that fine line. To Butch's point, at 4 o'clock in the morning, some of our best greens that are out there currently, those get watered in the middle of the night. Some of our worst greens are getting watered early in the morning. So there's some that are watered, different times. So I get what Butch is saying as well. A lot of that has to do with the equipment and it being in tip-top shape when you're trying to mow grass at 0.130, right? So we're talking grass that's this tall versus grass this tall. So the fairways, we try to water those and the ones, and it's that fine line of what he's speaking of, as well as overwatering and underwatering, so having that. So we don't have the greatest and latest updated system, so it is kind of, cumbersome to go and change it, but we try to fine tune. If we see something getting too much water, we try to knock it back, but just the way the system was designed however long ago, it's not each individual head. There's some of them will be 3 heads to one station, or 4 heads to one station, or 2 heads to one station. So it's not like a new course where you go out there and they have a limited budget and they have one head that just sprays the green, and right next to it there's another head that gets behind the green. So with us, we're trying to maximize one head to get the green and behind it, so it takes it a while to go around. So for us, we're doing the best with what we got, and I think we're doing the best job that's possible out there.
Is there anything you can do about some of the sprinklers? I live right across the golf course, and it seems like you are watering the road in the morning to the golf course. I see it about 11 o'clock at night, and when I wake up in the morning, the road is soaked for 4 or 5 houses down. The road just soaked with water. It's been going like that for a long time, and it feels like you're wasting the water. It's just all on the road.
No, sir, we're trying to get that road bigger.
No.
That's what we're speaking of. I mean, so that head has to reach out, and it's making 360. So when it gets out there, we don't. I mean, if it stops at a certain spot, then certain spots of the grass behind it don't get watered.
Okay, well, I know it's almost in my mailbox a few times. It comes on at 11 o'clock at night. This has been going on for about 3 years.
So the other thing about that has probably been going on for that long, it's probably been watering that for right, yeah.
You can come out there at 11 o'clock at night.
I know exactly where you live.
I'll have to see that.
The problem is we also found probably 80, 90 heads. So we fixed a lot of heads that are out there. So it just wasn't, when we took over, you've seen it now because it's fixed. And unfortunately, that's the design of the course. It wasn't our design, right? So it's always been watering like that for the last, however long it's been there, because that's where that head is placed.
Well, my point is that it just doesn't need to be in the contract, the mandate that you guys do that. You should be able to water whenever you feel like watering.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the whole point on that. Okay. So, yeah. But anyway. And then, will these new pumps and everything help you with respect to what you just mentioned?
Absolutely. I think the biggest help that it does is it doesn't shut off in the middle of the night. So that was the hardest part, because if a head stays stuck or something happens, it'll continue to water. It maybe doesn't water completely, but at least it keeps going. Before it would turn off, and who knew what got watered, what didn't, right? So when it started turning colors is when we knew that something wasn't getting watered. So now, at least,
I'm not mistaken also that these heads put out a lot of water. So it's not like you got to water a green for a half hour, an hour.
Right. So each green right now, on the average, each green is getting about 18 minutes of watering, which is about 3 to 4 rotations of a head. So it's really not a lot of water, just sounds like a lot. Again, some of those heads take up to 3.5 minutes to make a full rotation. Hence, the reason there's so much water on the road is because it's just going so slow through there. So.
Got it. Okay. And then also with regards to the trees, for example, okay, there's quite a few dead trees up there, right? And I realized that because you mentioned earlier having to use a roll-off and so forth and so on, okay, so it might be possible you will never be able to burn those trees on the golf course property, okay? And they're too thick, all right? It'll take forever to burn them, okay? And I spoke with Pete, I don't know, a few months ago. Okay, now sometimes the city burns things like that, right? And we have people on staff that can keep an eye on it to make sure it remains safe, because it will smolder for a long time because it's so thick. Okay, so perhaps we all can work together on that to help you out. and get these dead trees off of the golf course. And for those who may or may not know, I got clocked by one this summer, and I was out of pocket for a while from playing golf anyway. So, but I think it behooves the city and the DGG to get these dead trees off the grounds. So if we can get together and work on that, it sure would be great. So perhaps you could get your staff to help out with the trees, provided then our staff can help haul them off with our trailers and so forth and so on.
Well, we're open to getting with Pete and coming up with a plan.
Great, outstanding. Okay, but anyway, I just wanted to get all this out and open because our golf course has been so controversial. But I feel like you guys are doing a pretty darn good job up there with everything you got to work with. And then, so with the review, I had no idea about the kitchen AC. That concerns me. But I guess we'll take that up another time. So, yeah. So, and then is Wade? Okay, Wade. Since you're here, you can also speak on the pump and such on the front nine, if you wish. Because if I'm not mistaken, there's some additional work that has to be done on that was originally projected.
Yes, there is some additional work. The front nine has the same type of line shaft turbine pump that we installed on the back nine. It is controlled. The back nine is now controlled with a variable frequency drive. So as Willie said, when zones come on, the unit comes from rest and it ramps up slowly, and as more zones are turned on, demand increases. The VFD speeds the pump up and gives it more water based on what it needs. When that zone has run its cycle time and the zone turns off and the pressure starts to come up, the VFD slows the unit down and puts it back to bed. So as that demand fluctuates, the variable frequency drive, it reads that line pressure and it controls speed, flow, volume, all of that. We propose to upgrade the front nine line shaft turbine pump with the same type of VFD based on demand. Currently, the way it's set up, the pump runs all the time. When the master valve for the zones isolates and closes, the water is just routed back into the pond. So the analogy would be if you bring your car home and you set the parking brake and leave it in drive and let it idle all night long while you go to sleep, it would be ready to go the next morning, but you would very much wear it out. We would like to upgrade the VFD at the front nine to put in a VFD instead of just starting it across the line. It would be efficient, the equipment would last longer, along with rebuilding the old secondary backup pump station that is there. All of this equipment was put in 40 years ago and it's in pretty rough shape. So there is no backup right now. If something goes down, the back nine or north side of the golf course has water. We've just finished that project, but we'd like to turn our focus to the south side of the golf course and rework that pump station. That way, however they select or whatever they choose to water, they have enough volume. They also have efficiency coupled with it.
Question regarding sprinkler heads. Is it like a cost prohibitive thing, or what is the purpose or the reason behind not getting directional heads? So over there on the street, maybe you could control the flow of pressure during areas where it would pivot towards the street.
So again, the sprinkler heads, if I can get some that throw shorter, but the design of it, right? So they were designed to reach, they're 90 feet apart from each other. So if we get one that throws shorter, it's not going to get out in front. It's not going to water the street, but it's not going to water out in front of it where it's supposed to cover as well, right? So
I don't have the depth of understanding. So there are some that have a lot more functionality to them and adjustability, where certain areas you have a higher throw or.
No, these are just, they're going to throw. The only way, if you see one that's throwing higher, it's because it's on level. So just, so it's not, it's not where it gets to a certain point and it, throws less down there. It's, we're not there.
right, sir. Also, since we're on the subject of the golf course and everything, I need to let council know, I believe a while back, we approved so much funding for the pumps and such to be redone. And there was going to have to be a change order on the one for the front nine. Okay, it's not necessarily on the agenda that way, so we won't need to have a motion or vote on it. I just want to make council aware.
It's approximately 15,000.
Yeah. Wade, did you want to speak on the change order by any chance? You can always wait till we have it on another agenda item too.
That's okay. I can talk about it now. So the main focus of the change order is that variable frequency drive. We had discussed the budget early on and what needed to be done for redundancy of rebuilding the old pump station that was there. But at the same time, we did some maintenance for the golf course. We changed some packing land on the VFD, and we were kind of scratching our head why it runs all the time. And then we had a meeting out there for the north side of the golf course for the main pump station we were working on. And the request was made, what would it take to make this, the southern pump station with the line shaft turbine, what would it take to make it automated and controlled with a variable frequency drive transducer, not only to prolong the life, but to also make it a smoother operation with the irrigation. Because right now, it runs wide open. It's consuming electricity and running as fast as it can run 24 hours a day. There is no rest period for it. So that's why we've requested the change we have to go into the building where the unit is. We have to build a custom skid for it to step over the piping that exits the building. And then we have to run all of the electric, make sure all of that is sealed properly. That way, if we do have a packing or a line or something turn loose inside the building, we don't have 480 volts of electricity inside the washing machine. So we want to make sure that all of that is upgraded and proper and safely built, but it will also have the automated control of the variable frequency drive. So it will be water on demand or no electrical consumption when they don't need to irrigate.
Gotcha. All right. And thanks, Wade. And David advised that it's approximately $15,000 change order. So in order to get everything done eventually as it needs to be, council would need to approve another $15,000. Okay.
I don't know how much. I would think it's burning a lot of extra electricity. So there's going to be savings had right there across the board. I would think that thing is just burning power like crazy. In addition to wearing it out.
I've been in that little shed. It's probably the most dangerous spot shed, especially when that water just going everywhere. When that first time I went to one, when I got elected, I went out there. We need pumps, and I walked in there, and I'm like, what? I mean, no electrical cable with a butterfly buttons, or I mean, it needs to be done.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Like I said, just wanted to catch up, get everything out and open. I lost my agenda. Oh, okay, Ron, go ahead.
On this last item, the council approved. Can you hear me now? Council approved $80,000. Did they spend that on the backside, or is there still some of that left? Because you're making it sound like we need a $15,000 change order when there might still be money left.
Yes, there's still some money left.
Oh, okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
There's not enough money left to complete the job that we just discussed. So that's why we're discussing the change order.
I got one more question too, Brian. You said the AC at the restaurant's not working? Yeah. Because Kobe told me it was all good. It was big.
He said there was something that was never hooked up. We hooked it up and it's fine. So I thought they had argued on it.
Okay.
But it's working.
It is fine.
All right, so it's working.
I thought they had not. They said there was something that was never hooked up.
Saved us $10,000 for sure.
Things are adding up.
Oh, we saved some money tonight. All right.
Now we can move that over to the VSD.
Okay. All right. Does council have anything else with regards to the golf course? All right. That concludes agenda item number 12. No motion, no action was taken. Agenda item 13. Consider and take action on a rehabilitation plan of the L.C. Martin water well by the company Advanced Water Wells. David?
Sir, Mayor and Council, as you're aware, we have LC Martin Water Well, which was built about 5 years ago and have not been able to bring it online with top quality water. So we were at a conference in Pleasanton, ran across these gentlemen from Advanced Water Wells, explained to them our situation, and they asked to come over and take a look. They ran a scope camera down the well and have analysis on what they found and possible recommendation on how to fix it. So, sir.
Good evening. Thanks for letting us come out. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Good evening. Thanks for letting us come out. Just like Mr. Jordan said, we met him over in a conference in Pleasanton. He mentioned the water well, the Martin Street well, and the issues that were going on there, and that well hadn't been in use for a while. Just offered to come out, and we ran a camera down into the well, and then I met with him and Mayor Cook, and just offered to come and answer any questions. Brought my project manager, John Wilkins. He's 30 years in the business, and our company, Advanced Water Well Technologies, we're water well rehab specialists. So we're not a drilling company that's offering to come and just scratch your well. Rehabbing water wells is what we do, and we work with municipalities across the state of Texas, as well as some in your area here, the city of Pearsall, Benton City Water Supply, and some of the folks in this area. So we're available to answer any questions for that water well. Upon the inspection, you have some significant bacteria growth in that well. And so ultimately we want to go in and clean that well out really good and make that a viable water source for the city again.
So for the longest time, especially since I've been elected, I was always told that well is beyond repair and so forth. But apparently it's not. Apparently we can make it viable again. We also have a brand new storage tank up there that's pretty much never been used. So we had talked about possibly using the storage tank by adding our transmission lines over there by the apartments. Okay, but now if we can refurbish that well, it's all the better. Okay, we'll add to the water supply, we'll add to the pressure, and so forth and so on. So it's kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting news, and I believe there's some pricing there attached. Dave, is this just preliminary, or does this require an action this evening?
It requires action to allow Advanced Water Wells to do this maintenance program or rehabilitation program. Can you explain what you would do, sir? What you found? You mentioned 21 feet of sludge and all that, and just pull it all out. And what the process for treatment would be to bring it back online?
Yes, sir. My name is John Wilkins. The significant problem with the well is there's a lot of iron bacteria growth that has the screens 85 to 90% plugged up. It's only allowed to draw water from a certain section of the screens, which in turn, now the iron bacteria is in the water-bearing formation. It's in pretty much every water well around here. This particular water well has a significant amount of the screens plugged up, which is only allowing the mass amount of water to come from one section of the screens, which is pulling really hard on that section of the screens. It doesn't always work 100%. You're never going to get rid of the iron bacteria, but if you open up the entire formation, the screen sections of the formations, you get the existing iron out of the screen sections. You get it to the best of your ability out of the gravel pack, the filter pack that's behind the screens, between the screens and the water-bearing formation. If you get it out of there and you get it cleaned up, you get the entire screen sections cleaned up, it'll drop the velocity in any one section. and then it'll allow the water to come in through the entire screen section of that particular water well. Of course, the iron bacteria will come back eventually. Sometimes it's a couple of years, sometimes it's a year, just depending on the actual formation in that particular area. It's existent in all of y'all's wells. The good thing about it is you guys can blend the water by the time you solidify it, chlorinate it, drops in the tanks and all that stuff, and then it's perfectly fine. This one well is in pretty bad shape because of the growth on the interior of the casing. The screens are completely plugged up, so that's what's making this well a little more excessive with the iron bacteria than the rest of them. So we feel once we use a combination of chemicals, brushes, a Cody style brush, an agitator, and a jetting process, we can go in and scratch this stuff from the inside, brush the stuff off the inside, use the chemicals with an isolation tool, force it back into the gravel pack and to the edge of the water bearing formation, clean it all up, open it up, and then use a jetting process to go in and clean out the debris, clean out all the chemicals and all the iron bacteria that's there. It'll open up a better portion of the entire borehole, and then it'll allow the water to come in at a less velocity rate from any one section of the formation. And like I say, it's not 100% in every single well that the process is tried. We've done it all over the state of Texas. It works pretty well. The trick is how long is it going to stay gone and when will it come back? That's the unknown for sure.
How many inches of hole is that? How many inches of pipe?
I don't know exactly. I don't remember right offhand.
Is that a 10-inch?
It's 10-inch. It's 10-inch casing. Yes, sir. I don't know exactly how many feet of screen it has right offhand. I know there's 20-something feet of fill in the bottom of the well right now. When we brush the interior of the casing, we're going to make more fill in it. So we're going to brush it initially and swab the chemical in. We'll allow it to have contact time overnight. We'll go back through it the second day. We will spike the chemical. We will brush it through again. Leave it overnight. The third day, we will go back and jet the debris out through an isolation tool, which means we isolate every 10 foot and we jet from each 10-foot section, and we swab it up and down as we go. So we stir up the gravel pack, we bring in all the debris, and then once we go through and clean out all the sections of screen, we'll pull that brush out, lay it down, go in open-ended, clean all the debris out of the bottom of the well, clean it back to a solid bottom, or the bottom of the existing well when it was drilled. And then generally speaking, we'll see how the well reacts, but generally we go back in and then we use an agitator or a surge block or an isolation tool. People call it different things. And we will seat the gravel back in place and make sure it's all nice and seated back in place, so the well is not allowed to have sand come in. So the filter pack acts like a filter pack again, because we fluff it all up, stir it all up, trying to get all the stuff out of the well that the chemicals broke up.
Pretty technical.
So there's no guarantee on this, right? They just said come back to life. This is what I'm reading here. You put up here on number 15 that you guys don't have a guarantee on it.
I don't think any water well guy that drills a well can ever guarantee quality or quantity of a well. It's in the water bearing formation. We can absolutely do our best. It's our professional opinion that we can absolutely clean it up. To what extent and to how long it stays away, that's everybody's guess. I don't know when the well was originally drilled, if it was better off and it got worse over the years. I'm not sure of that, of how it was. I know the existing wells that are in the near area are not near as bad as this well. I think it's definitely formational. It's lack of rain, lack of movement in the formations, has gotten it all in one spot. And so we go in there and we clean it up, we open it up, and then it'll allow it all to come in. We'll pull it all out, and then, Mother Nature will tell us how long it takes to come back.
Yeah.
Is there a way to maintain that over the course of time to keep that from getting back to that point?
Yes, sir. There's ways to maintain it to keep it getting to the point of what it is. It would be putting the well on a maintenance, monitoring the water quality with the content of iron bacteria, the drawdown levels, the GPM production of the wells, and then we can put it on a periodic maintenance. Generally, like in the wintertime when demand is low, we could pull the pump. We could go back through the process in a much shorter process, obviously, and then reinstall the pump and be good for another however long. It really would be a monitoring process from once we get it back to the best that it can be right now, then we'll monitor it over the years, and we'll see what it's doing and how it's reacting, and then we'll know when the next time we should be able to pull it and take care of it. If for some reason the pump goes out before then, lightning strike, wear and tear, whatever, we pull it out, we can run a camera, we can also visually see if it's getting bad, go ahead and rehab it at that time while you have the pump out. Yes, sir, there's a lot of maintenance things you can do on the well.
I was wondering, and then, according to what I had a conversation with the city managers, so apparently several other companies looked at this and said, well, there's really nothing they can do. Is that pretty much the bottom line? So I guess, and I don't know if you're willing to do this, but Ray asked the question a minute ago, is would you say this has good odds anyway of succeeding? I mean, beyond a 50% chance, or I realize you can't be held to that, but I'm just wondering. It's like everybody else said nope, and then it's good that you did. I'm just wondering if you see, obviously you must see some kind of hope here, or
because this is a $32,000 gamble we have to take. If there's I know you can't guarantee, but that's a gamble I don't really want to have without knowing some type of odds.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And you're right. Every time you rehab a well, it's a gamble. As to how much it's going to come back, how much it's going to work. I think the gamble is extremely lessened with our company. We've been doing it a long time. I've been doing it 30 years. Two of the other project managers, we have 90 years experience between our company. We worked with several different companies to create combinations of products and stuff that work very well in this area. We're from Converse, Texas. We work all over the state, but predominantly you have your iron bacteria problems this way all the way around south. And so we've worked in extensive wells to do different processes. Each one of them requires a little different chemical mix, a little different combination. I think the difference in other companies than us is we're experienced in it. We've experimented over the years. We've found things that work, found things that don't work. The main problem, the price comes in with time. It's a 4 to 6 day process depending on how the well reacts. We generally overquote these things because if the well reacts and we finish sooner, we cut the dollars off the end of it. You guys make out great. If it reacts, in a slower manner and it takes more work, it takes more process, we have to go in and re-agitate or try to move the gravel pack around, the formations around, and try to get more of the stuff out. It's not reacting the way we want it to or the way it should, and it takes a little extra time. The money's already in the budget. It's definitely more than a 50-50 shot. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't even probably work on it if I thought it was a 50-50 shot. It's a lot of money to spend for, it's people like me, man, that are paying the bills. We're just hardworking people. So, yeah.
Do you have an example of something maybe done in an area that might be similar to this one? I mean, or is this the worst one you've ever seen? Or
No.
do you have an example of something similar you've done before where it came out fine?
Yeah, not even close. It's kind of far away. We've just done 2 in El Paso, almost the exact same thing. We just did 1 down south. There's a well, everybody in our business knows that it's in Lockhart. There's 3 wells right in a row, all within about 25 to 30 acres. They're probably 3 of the worst wells in the state. And we monitor those. When the water level starts dropping, we know what it's from. We go in and we work them over. The original time we worked it over and fixed it, the first time, it was about a 3-week process. It was about $60,000, $70,000 process. The next few times we do it, it's $8,000 to $10,000 process in 3 to 4 days. It absolutely works. This well is absolutely not the worst well we've ever seen by far. It's not even, I know to people that don't deal with it, such as yourselves and your city, it seems bad. It does look bad in the camera survey, but to us, it's just another day's work. It's actually a shallow well, so we're happy about that. We don't have to trip thousands of feet of pipe to clean it up. So, yeah, it's actually pretty easy. It's definitely more than a 50-50 shot. I'm pretty confident that we could make it a viable well. Currently, the question for myself is how long is it going to stay viable? With the wells in the area, I feel like it'll stay for a good couple of years, but can't guarantee it, and can't say that for certain. That'll be kind of up to Mother Nature to see how she wants to proceed.
To give you some, I guess, some perspective or something to weigh that against, the well he's speaking about over in Lockhart, by far the worst well. Every well company is very familiar with that well. We end up treating that one probably about once a year, maybe.
Yeah, once a year and a half.
Once a year.
18 months.
So it just like I was telling Mr. Jordan, like if you put everything in perspective, the worst situation that we're dealing with is a once in a year maintenance. It gives you hope, right? It gives you hope, and like John said, and I understand for this community. My family's from this area, so I understand that $30,000 is a lot of money, right? But it's really just a drop in a bucket of what it costs to fix another well, and $30,000 isn't worth our professional reputation, right? If it's something that we felt like wasn't recoverable, then we wouldn't even bother with it, because it would hurt our reputation in the area, which wouldn't be worth $30,000.
It would seem that it's always been my understanding around here with our water system and this and that we never really maintain what we have. Okay, so obviously this year would have to come with a maintenance program, like everything else that we should have. So a lot of the work that we've just completed in the last year or two, whatever, it is under maintenance programs. So if this is under a maintenance program, obviously the odds of it succeeding and being valid increase considerably.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll speak on, because these gentlemen here are obviously well workers as well, right? And so he's in a situation where he wants to add a VFD to that well. He's coming back to you with a change order, and no harm or no foul to how they run their business, right? But when you look at this quote here, because we need to come in front of council and it slows up the timing to get that well back online, we try to avoid the change order situation. So what we like to do is kind of quote you a worst case scenario and then only charge you for the hours used, right? We just, in these situations, especially like we're doing the wells in the city of Mathis right now, they're in an urgent situation. So having to go back to council and tell them, hey, we need a few more bucks to finish that, just doesn't play out well in the time situation.
I was also told that that storage tank we have up there, and this is a while back, I was told all this when I was checking into all our water system and what have you. We basically have $1 million storage tank up there that we're not using, right? I mean, it's basically brand new, okay? It's an asset that we need to try and utilize, correct, Pete?
Yes, sir. It's a 200,000 tank.
Yeah. So what's the one at the wars?
Wars is 500,000.
Okay. So, 50% of that we can use and get in there. So.
Make sure you put some shut-offs on it before we fill the water. Oh, yeah.
What's that? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Put on some shut-offs before we fill the water.
Yeah. And I'll mention that, he's talking about city assets. That well is a good example of a nice asset the city has, right? That's just sitting there deteriorating, growing more bacteria and not serving your community. To drill a new well is really a lot of money. That's why we do so much work rehabbing.
Right.
So on the rehab, if it was to be annually, we just have to take everything all the way down, strip it all the way out, like you were saying, and agitate and do the whole thing, process all over again. It's just a matter of adding some chemical that could break everything up and just take it offline and having it down briefly to bring it back up.
Yeah, it depends on the growth. The rapid how much growth it happens, how fast. Generally speaking, you would pull the pump, run through it real quick, a day or so, and then put the same existing pumping equipment back in. So you're looking at maybe 3 days versus 5 or 6 days of 12, 14-hour days versus 3 8-hour days. Yeah, it's way more, way less chemicals as well as less work, less man hours. So yes, sir, it'll still be out for a few days, be out of service, but it'll be way less and way less time, be out of service, and way less money. And it depends if it's a year, if it's 18 months or 2 years, however it depends, whatever the monitoring shows of the well.
Would you have a cost of that maintenance plan, an idea of what it would be if we did it yearly, or? It all depends on would it be all depends on what you find down there?
Yeah, it would all depend on what we find down there. Honestly, it depends a lot on the chemicals that time of the year. Things changing so rapidly nowadays with pricing and stuff. It would just depend upon how much we would how much chemical we'd have to use, what kind of chemical. We obviously wouldn't use as harsh of chemicals if it was on a maintenance program. It might be something as simple as like a chlorine, a super chlorination, 1,000 parts per million or something like that. So it would all depend on what we find at the particular time, and also the rate that it starts to come back, and that would all show off the maintenance and the monitoring from the city. The public works director can monitor the GPMs and the water levels over the course of the year, and have a real good idea of what the well's doing.
Yeah, just as he mentioned, right, to give you some perspective, the well that was originally, the budget was about $60,000 to clean that well out with the iron bacteria. It's about it runs about $10,000 annually to go back and do that, right? So if you just put some percentages on that, that would give you some perspective at the very least, right? And I can tell you this because I work with John, and it's very hard to actually squeeze numbers out of him until he gets his eyes on it, until he does the work and that sort of thing, right? So, but that gives you some perspective. You might have to invest a little money in that well, maybe every year, every 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but it shouldn't be as significant as you're going to have to on the front end to get it back up and running.
Well, and obviously, even at that, it would be a heck of a bargain compared to drilling a new well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
always.
Yeah. Well, it sure sounds worth pursuing to me, considering the shape of our, one of our priorities is getting our water system completely where it needs to be for generations to come, hopefully. And we've talked about it quite often. So, but anyway, I sure like the sound of it. It was a surprise to me when I met with them, because I really thought that well was doomed. So,
I think it would help out because we just got into another program with Corpus Christi, correct? So we get that well going at least. I mean,
right.
50-50 it's hard. 10. But if you told me 60%, then I'm all
yeah,
there.
he's.
But I guess it's a chance we got to take because that well's been knocked down for how long? I mean,
he would know.
I would say it's been about 6 years just to go around.
See, I mean, previous council should have done something about it a long time ago.
That would help with everything on this side of town, the Walmart area. They should have some pressure on this side. So.
No.
Yeah, I will say it's hard for me to give you a percentage on how much it will, but it's over 60. It's over 60%.
They give you 60.
You're doing 5,000 barrels a day and it goes down in 15 years. You want to know why it's going down.
Yeah.
You're going to go back down there, pull everything up. So.
Well, there's a storage tank there for a reason.
Yeah.
So,
I think like he was saying, it's like these are assets. We have the well, we have the new water storage tank. We need to take a run at this, because otherwise, that investment, that asset is just going to waste. It's only going to get worse, not going to get better. So if there's anything that we can do about it at this point, it's worth taking a little bit of a chance at that cost, I think, for sure.
He just said that what's the name of the town that has 3 wells that's the worst?
Lockhart.
I mean, that town is getting a whole lot bigger than us, so they took a chance on those 3 wells that worked in Texas. This place has got to be the top 100, so I'd rather, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm in for it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against it. I just have questions. Yeah. Terminology always scares me, so I just want to make sure.
And that's why we came tonight, because I think there's sometimes a disconnect between the folks like yourself that are making those decisions, and then technical folks like John that have those boots on the ground, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of the issues when making decisions to spend the city's money is understanding. It's not a lot of people deal with water wells. They turn the faucet on and there's water. They don't understand everything it takes to get out of the ground and to fix them whenever they do go down. So it's a little bit of a disconnect between the public and the professional side of it. So yeah, that's why we're here to answer questions and just try to help the city out the most we can.
Can I get 70%? So can I get 70%?
Do I hear 70%?
53% is the best he's going to get.
Council, we have any more questions? Okay.
And I'll make a motion that we, let's see here, that we give the Advanced Water Well Technology an opportunity to work on this well, see if we can get it back online.
All right, we have a motion from Michael.
For 31/3/27/34.
Got it. To allow Advanced Water Well Technologies to do the rehabilitation plan of our LC Martin well in the amount of the bid amount of $31,327.34.
Second.
All right, we have a second from Josh. Anything further? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Good job, fellas. Thank you guys very much. Looking forward to it. And I know you got to work it in your other schedule like we discussed the other day, but hey, the sooner the better around here.
Yes, sir. For sure.
All right. Thanks for coming, fellas.
Thank you.
Throw an extra barrel of chemicals in there, okay? Get those pipes clean up that artery.
All right, guys, moving on to some easy stuff here. Agenda item number 14, consider and act upon updating the purchase policy for the city of Devine. David, that's yours.
Yes, sir. In the process, this is all administrative things that are necessary for annual review, and since we now have new personnel, went and reviewed the policy. We had Sophia and Christine from the finance department take a review of this purchasing policy and made the following recommendations. The recommendations are in red. Excuse me. In the previous policies attached to it in the back. It's basically just realigning purchase policy things where the correct department where they should be. It's kind of like taking the city secretary out of the process and going to the finance department for POs and purchases and so forth, and being validated through the city administrator's office like it's supposed to be. We also increased approval for purchases up to $500 to the department heads. Anything over will require city administrator review, and of course it's all monitored and reviewed through the finance department with receipts and so forth, and confirmed that it's a valid purchase. Anything purchased without prior permission of the department head. If it's an emergency, then they can go ahead and do it, but they must notify the finance department, city administrator right away. And if it's not authorized, then the city will not pay for it. The person who made the purchase unauthorized will pay for it. That's the brief snapshot of what the policy review update is.
Seems fair.
We accept and implement the new finance policy.
I'll second it.
All right, I have a motion from Josh to accept the new purchasing policy with the presented. We have a second from Jeff. Discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Moving on. Agenda item number 15. Consider and act upon updating the investment policy for the city of Devine. David, you're on once again.
Yes, sir. Same thing. The city is required to have an investment policy, and is also required to have an annual review of that policy and ensure it's in compliance with the state law, so forth and so on. This is our existing policy that we have in place regarding investments and Public Funds Investment Act. Training is required by the finance director, the city administrator, and the city secretary. It's required training by law, and the training lasts for 2 years. The next training is December the 12th, I believe it is, up in San Antonio, and we will be attending that training because my PFI training expires in December. So.
In section 3, third sentence, or third line rather, is chosen in a manner which promotes diversity. Is that in accordance with the definition on page 2 at the top, diversification of institutional market sector, or is that like ESG?
Where are you at, Josh? Where are you at?
Section 3. For section 3 under objectives, the third line, third word, specifically diversity. I just want to know what that is. That in line with the definition of
diversification of your
investments. Investments.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not talking about the ESG stuff here.
No, please.
Diversity of investments. Diversify your portfolio.
As far as risk, yield, etc.
Right, that's what it's saying.
Don't put it all in one basket.
Diversification and yield.
I like the definition on page 2. I just want to make sure those are the same.
Yes, sir. They'll do the same.
I don't want us losing money on some green agenda.
Amen. So we'll actually have some continuing education on our investment.
I'll make a motion
with our employees.
Accept the updated investment policy for the city of Devine.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Jeff to accept the updated investment policy for the city of Devine. We have a second from Josh. Anything further? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Do we have to do, Tom? Do we have to do the resolution on this, or?
Yes, we have to do this. If you actually
Yes, okay. So the associated resolution for this public information
10-25?
10-25.
That's what I have here, correct? Just looks different. Adoption of investment policy.
Say again. What is that?
This is the one.
Yes, this one here.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it. Got it. I just want to make sure because it looks different in yours.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, the resolution number for the previously approved motion, 10-25. 10-25. All right, moving on. Agenda item 16, consider and act upon the bank depository policy for the city of Devine. As y'all recall, we discussed this a while back during budget. We had like 38 different accounts at Security State Bank, none of which were gathering any interest or anything of that sort. So upon the suggestion of Christine, we needed to pool these accounts to where we can get a return on our average daily balance. And David, what you got?
You just summed it up, basically. We went out for RFQ for depository for the banks. Security State Bank responded, and this is a recommendation that they be awarded the 5-year contract to be the city's depository of record.
So those accounts now are going to be moved to pool.
Right, in the process of doing it right now. They're not complete, but yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
They will be pooled, and all the monies will be accounted for in fewer accounts with a larger depository and more interest.
A lot less paperwork, and a lot less bank.
Well, we'll get some money back.
Yeah, seriously, a lot of fees involved. So yes, I'll make a motion that we accept the bank depository policy for the city of Devine with Security State Bank.
All right, we have a motion from Jeff to accept the depository agreement between the city of Devine and Security State Bank here of South Texas.
I'll second.
We have a second from Ray. Anything further? All right, all in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Okay. Informational items.
Yes, sir.
David?
Yes, sir. I'm going to call this the Pete Sanchez show. He's got an update on a lot of infrastructure projects that's been in the works and that's coming to finality.
So right now we have, can y'all hear me? Yeah. Right now we have the Warhorse ground storage tank. It's been painted, they're done with it, been disinfected inside. The pump room is coming along pretty good. Tomorrow they're going to start putting the shell over the beams. I already have the frame set up, so it's looking good. They did a tie-in today. They lack 2 more tie-ins to finish that. The VFD should be coming in at the end of October, so it's looking good. Edwards well number 2, the guys got everything put up, and like the piping, everything's got fixed over there. We ran the pump yesterday for an hour, and then we ran it for another hour today. They say you should run at least about 3 hours before you collect samples, so I'm hoping by Thursday we can get it sampled and get it going. So we'll have our 2 Edwards wells back online.
Again, hopefully they last longer. Yeah. There's always something, obviously, right? Yeah, it's always something.
Everything looks good. It looks good.
So on the groundwater storage tank, the Warhorse tank, are we looking maybe by the end of November it'll be complete?
I would say the end of November. Yeah, because the VFDs come in. They're the last things to come in. The pump's already there. The motor's already there. They're pretty much halfway on the piping. So once they get the VFDs in the end of October, they can start wiring everything up. So yeah, I would say the end of November. Yeah.
All right, that's exciting. I'll be glad to see that finally get done.
Once we get done with the Edwards number 2 well, we want to start on the Edwards number 1, refurbishing that one. We're going to do it ourselves, make it cheaper, yes. So we already made an order in for all the parts we're going to need. So we're going to do it ourselves.
Outstanding. Great.
And kudos to the Public Works Department once again. They redid well number 2 after the accident mishap of the other company. Pete and Simon primarily spearheaded that job and went ahead and did the work themselves. So now they're going to pump well number 1. Can you give an update on the generators also, Pete?
Generators, all the generators are now installed. They're all running. They run about an hour every Tuesday now. So, yeah, everything's tied in. Ready for another storm. I don't think we'll ever have it, but yeah.
So Edwards well number 2, Edwards well number 1, and the Warhorse Tower all have backup generators installed and operational.
Very nice.
My suggestion is that hour needs to probably be half a day on those generators. It's got to be, man.
I just don't know how long the propane would last on it should last.
If we're worried about propane now, I mean, imagine what's going to happen when we have something worse. You know what I'm saying? In December, I mean, 1 hour is nothing on a generator for water well when we need to do like the prime time of everybody's home on a Saturday or something like that. It's got to run for at least a half a day. I mean, I would do it
every week.
No, like every 2 weeks or something like that. Just do it. I mean, 1 hour is nothing. I mean, generators are made to run for at least as much time as they can. But 1 hour is nothing for a generator, and especially pulling the water like that. You know, I mean, you're going to have to do a half a day to get those things going. I mean, during school time is probably the best time too, because you know, you got everybody using all that water on that side.
Yeah, we can settle too.
Because you want to make sure those generators are going to run and get hot, you know what I'm saying? I mean, 1 hour is nothing, man.
Yeah, those things are huge.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like these guys, when they set up here with all their tents and all that stuff, they use those generators and they're running at least for the 8 or 9 hours that they're sitting out here. It's got to be, you're going to have to run. Whoever we bought them from, whoever's going to do the maintenance, needs to kind of check them out too and see, make sure everything's all lubed up and all that, you know, because you're going to lose some oil out of it. Yeah.
Were we able to recoup any funds for the company causing those water line breaks?
Not yet. We've sent Public Works has made the list. We're going to send an invoice, but not yet.
Okay. Pete, how's the morale in the Public Works Department? Folks working pretty hard lately?
Trying to keep up with everything we have right now. I mean, the grass slowed down a little bit, but the water leaks, like you mentioned, the water leaks we had to have street department and water department like kind of helping each other. Other than that, everything's been pretty good so far.
All your folks are feeling, good, happy, appreciative, paid well enough?
Well, you got those that still want more, but yeah.
Overall
for
good.
the most, yes, everybody.
With all that overtime, man.
Yeah, all that overtime.
The government's going to take more.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that Pete has him and Simon have done a great job in hiring personnel and bringing them on board. We're only down one person in the Parks Department, right? So he's almost has a full staff. That's what, 12 right now?
No, we have 17 right now.
17 right now, and we're only down one, so they're doing great. And the teams, all these breaks and so forth, I've been out watching them, and they really work good together. So great job on vetting your people and doing the interviews and bringing the right people in to join the team. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Pete. All right.
So based on our reports here, looks like maybe we've, and looking around town, looks like we've maybe taken care of some of the transients. Also notice there were 3 drunk publics. Assuming they're still correlated.
Okay, what's that now?
Citations, there were a few public drunkenness, and I see less transients around.
Chief's going to address that.
Yes, they are correlated. We have been getting calls on that, and a couple officers responded over here the other day. Had a public intoxication of one of the gentlemen. Took him over to county jail, where he spent the night. Been getting more calls where they're behind Morales Realty. So we went over there, dealing with them, and been driving the area. Apparently they're moving around because they know we're dealing with them every time we see them. So I don't know where we're staying with the variance, with the city ordinance on that, but we're doing what we can right now to make sure that they're not out in the public, causing any trouble, causing anybody urinating on the side of the buildings and stuff like that. So we've been taking care of it every time we see it.
Were you folks able to get out one that was breaking into that house on the quarter pipe underneath the carport, trying to retrieve, crashing over the roof?
I have to go back and look at the report on that one.
Where we at? I reported a few months ago. I don't know what happened.
I got a call that somebody defecated over here in one of the buildings, and I've been using it.
Where we at in that ordinance, and what is the objective behind the ordinance?
It's a vagrancy ordinance. Tom is in the process of. Can you give us an update, Tom, please?
I need to yell.
I've been in touch with David on this, been researching it. We've got to be careful about what we pass. We want, if we try and keep people away from the library, we need to be careful about that. We don't want everybody away from the library. We just want people away from the library that are causing trouble, right? So I told David that we were looking at a loitering ordinance out of Hondo, but I don't think that's really going to work because their concern is prostitutes in Hondo.
Oh my goodness.
They're what?
Concerned with prostitutes. They're concerned with prostitutes.
They got an ordinance against prostitution in Hondo. So that's not really going to fit what we're trying to do. A couple of years ago, they tried to pass a state law that you couldn't urinate or defecate in a public place. That didn't pass. I don't know why it didn't pass.
Really?
And I know the chief, they're probably approaching this from disorderly conduct.
Right.
Or maybe trespass.
Yeah.
Once the criminal trespass notice is given. So It's not easy to enforce.
No, it's not, and that's why we have to approach it from different avenues, depending on when we get on the scene and see what we're dealing with at that time, whether it's drunk in public or the owner of the property wants them trespassed off the property and things of that nature. So, I mean, we can attack it from different angles. We're just trying to, make sure they're off the property.
I would strongly suggest that maybe on the next meeting and put on the agenda that we probably need more lighting out here in the front of the library.
It is very
Turn on free Wi-Fi as well.
It's either that or more lighting.
Internet.
Yeah, that's a lot of what they're doing. They're charging their phones on the side of the buildings and using the free Wi-Fi out here to make phone calls and as they're walking around the parking lot. That's a lot of what they're doing besides sleeping.
I've noticed that too, though. The lighting out here is bad. Yeah.
Could we possibly look into a future agenda item, something I've seen, and I don't know where the heck it was, they put speakers inside of the building just to keep the transients out. It just sounds like cat sounds. I'm serious. But it's not that it's so...
That came on the news, some guy in Indiana at a store, like like QT or something that was playing this ugly music, man, and it kept everybody away. But he had it real loud and blasting. The only one who would come in were just the customers,
right?
Because they didn't want the peddlers to come and ask for money or buy them beers or that. But yeah, man,
can't make it too loud because our house is nearby. Well, I mean, something just enough where it annoys them so that they go away. Or by maniacs and so they hold back that sand.
And one other avenue we've taken is kind of notify the clergy group in the area and try to get resources for the personnel that are dislocated, relocated, and see if they would be willing to accept services in that area also. So that's another angle that we have taken, not just law enforcement.
Absolutely, they need to get services.
Right.
And then so when we do make contact with them, I mean, we do ask them, hey, do you have any family in the area or anything like that? And one gentleman that we spoke to out here, he has a son and daughter that lives nearby, but he doesn't want anything to do with them. And he just not likes to be homeless, but he'd just rather, instead of asking them for help, he'll rather just be homeless.
Is that like I know they have a lot of services through Bexar County, but do they have services through Medina County as well that can help people?
I'm sure there are some services there. I'm gonna reach out to find out exactly what they're doing or what they will provide. I know over in Bexar County they had a lot of things that they can do as far as with the Red Cross or with Blue Bonnet Trails and things of that nature. As a matter of fact, I have a meeting next week with Blue Bonnet Trails, the 27th, right? So that's something I'll bring up too, see what kind of services they offer for some of those people.
We don't get the Spurs back, they ain't have no service.
True that.
All right, David, I have a few questions for you.
Yes.
I noticed your downtown development. Any highlights from that with HR green?
Actually, just professional development for my own knowledge on what we could potentially do here for this city. So,
is that going to be part of our workshops?
Could be, absolutely, yes. The actual test city is LaPorte, but yes, a lot of the same grant funding programs and a lot of the same opportunities, there could be brought here. So, just another economic development piece. Always trying to look for opportunities to not only develop the 74 acres, but bring people into town and fill up to buy these buildings that we have that are dilapidated, and it'd be nice to have them revitalized.
Were you able to get any strategies for, stronger application for enforcement of dilapidated commercial structures and abandoned buildings?
There are companies that go through the court process and try to expedite identifying the owners and making them do actions. Yes, of course, it costs money.
Yeah. Do we have any of those workshops on the schedule?
Which workshops?
For City Council to sit down and talk about.
Yes, we can put that on the schedule. Actually, I want, since relatively new council, want to get a strategic plan. It would be great to have a retreat or somewhere, even if it's here, to get a strategic plan, an idea what y'all like to see for the future, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. So we can set that up.
Are we going to be able to make nominations for the two that resigned for the zoning and also for the Parks and Rec?
Yes, sir. I'll bring that back next city council meeting, and also Mr. What's the former mayor's name?
Lopez?
Yes, sir. Mr. Lopez also been informed that he has resigned as well. So it'll be 3 appointments. He's on the planning, he's on the park and emergency management commission. So he resigned, Mr. Nick West resigned, and then Mr. Lawler. So we'll bring all those back for appointments on the next city council meeting.
What was the feedback from the garden club on their skipping?
They're on board with what the recommendations are.
Okay, I was going to bring that up in my turn. Okay, so we met with Miriam one day last week. Okay, and they were on board with working with the city. We're going to try and rehabilitate those corners. And I even spoke with her today. She said that they have a committee together. They're looking forward to doing it. Kind of exciting revamp. But that brings me up to a question that comes with the previous agenda item we just had. Okay, now in order for us to rehabilitate these 4 corners, okay, we're not going to be able to come to council and then have the overall game plan on it and money and so forth and so on. This is a staggered process, so to speak. I'll give you an example. If indeed we are going to remove the grass and stop watering it, which we need to do, okay, we're going to need to spray those beds fairly soon, okay, while the grass is still growing, okay, because you can't use an herbicide if nothing's growing, all right? So that means we're going to water. We should water right now as normal to keep the grass growing as much as possible, all right? And then when the time comes, we can spray with herbicide. Now, obviously, we're going to spray an herbicide that will only kill the grass, and it'll probably take a couple applications. So then in the meantime, you got the Garden Club Committee trying to come up with their ideas, okay? And once again, you essentially have a Texas landscape there, okay? It's not going to be like all flowers and tulips and all this stuff. It'll be something that we also agree to, okay? But obviously, the Garden Club has earned their keep. They've done it for years and years and years, okay? And now they have more opportunity to actually do more, okay? And so once again, that was a way that I approached them about this, okay? So now, okay, I don't know if, I guess we could have printed some pictures. So when you get rid of the grass, okay, we're not envisioning a complete bed of rock, okay? You can use mulch, granite, crushed granite, rocks, various kinds, etc., create islands of interest, and the ladies are excited about that. Okay, so but once again, and then the irrigation, okay, will not be above ground sprinklers, okay, for things that need irrigation, okay, it'll be done underneath, okay, drip lines, okay, so you're already going to save a ton of water, okay, right? It's going to go directly to the plants or the area, okay, it needs to be done. And once again, this is a process, okay, but we need to, in a perfect world, we would be putting that stuff in the ground right now, okay, right now, develop its root system over the winter and so forth, but we're not going to have that. We're going to have to probably do most of that in springtime. But we can start on the site work. I don't know if you all ever paid attention to the 4 corners. The grade of it's about this high above the sidewalk.
Way up.
Okay, and that's from years and years and years of dust and dirt just piling up and piling up. So, matter of fact, David and I and Pete are going to go look at it. We may want to create different levels there to get it back to grade at the sidewalk, leave it higher than others, right? Or the possibility would be to put like a cement retaining wall all the way around, all right, and go with the existing grade you have now. Okay, those are things we need to figure out.
Or slope it or something.
You slope it, that would be counterproductive. I mean, you can, but there's no reason to. I would suggest one or the other, because you can create some really nice visual interest. Okay, let's say if it was level, if it was to the sidewalk grade for a few feet, right, and then you raise it up, it gives a lot of interest for plants to where they're not all on the same plane, you know.
Tier levels, yeah.
Right, and like I told Miriam at the Garden Club, you know, for example, if I were to design it, okay, and I'm capable of doing it, okay, I had a landscaping company for several years and all that good stuff, but we need people to think out of the box a little bit, and different ideas and so forth. I think they're going to come through for us on that. Okay. And besides, there's a lot to work with already. You got the crepe myrtles on the two corners.
Yeah, they're
okay.
Nice.
Right. You got the sago palms. And another thing that I wanted to approach council with probably eventually. You know, on the shell corner we have the one flag that goes up. It's a very small flag.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I would love to see two big flagpoles and a Texas and the United States flag flying. Okay, and I'm pretty sure we might be able to get some local people interested in financing that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so but anyway, it's all in its infancy. It's going to take time. We're going to have to do it one step at a time. Okay.
One corner at a time.
Well, no, you have to do it all.
One corner at a time.
It's all going to have to be done pretty much at the same time.
But y'all ain't pulling out those crepe myrtles, right?
Oh, heck no. Are you kidding?
Right,
no, but we do need to raise the canopy on these right here in the church's corner. I mean, because otherwise you're not going to be able to plant anything there will grow anyway. So, yeah, those have been kind of ignored. They did, I think the Exxon people over there were the ones who raised the canopy on those. You should be able to walk under trees. Okay? So, matter of fact, I just talked to Don Darnell today. He's a buddy of mine. He's also very well versed in landscaping. It was part of his degree. He and I we pruned a lot of the trees there at Briscoe Park, and we'll probably do the corner for them. I already talked to Garden Club about it. We'll kind of take care of that for them. So,
there's some pictures on y'all's phone.
Oh yeah, that was some of the ideas that I gave the Garden Club. I don't like the rocks that are in those photos myself, but once again, that's just personal preference. So that's Texas Star Landscaping there, which is what we need to do. Esperanzas, things like that. So Bird of Paradise, sago palms do well. Sage, Silverado sage. A lot of stuff they have already.
I do a lot of driving every day to work. I go to all these small towns, and all these small towns have something nice. Shiner, Gonzales, Nixon, Stockdale. I mean, I drive up Gillette. I mean, everybody's got something nice. I mean, saying we need to do something.
I also
it'd be nice to have someday. It'd be nice to have a nice welcome sign out here on at the interstate. Because that's something too. It's like it just gives a first impression of the city.
There's really nowhere to put it out there.
Well, I mean,
TxDOT. Remember that last time I talked TxDOT?
But I mentioned to Miriam about possibly having a marquee here at the Four Corners for traffic that comes in from the east. Okay, and also from the south. Okay, it says "Welcome to Devine" because we have the other two signs.
I didn't know if there was room like on that corner. I mean, this is off topic. I should not go.
It's still information line.
That corner that has a Valley Mart. That corner, there seems like there's I understand there's TxDOT land there. I don't know if they, it just seems like maybe, I don't know if other cities are able to make agreements with them to let them.
Which one are you talking about?
Well, if you're coming into Devine from San Antonio and you get off the exit right there, that would get you onto 173. Okay. That corner, what is that now? A Valero, where McDonald's and all that is. It seems like there's a lot of room there.
Oh, I see. Well, yeah, you probably could on that little part there, but it wouldn't be visible for people coming on the access road. Okay, it's going to be too close to the access road.
Yeah, but I've seen them where they can make them kind of in an arc. I don't know. It just I kind of just thought about that several years ago. That would be like a really cool thing,
Even the underpass, paint the underpass decoration like the bank, and you know what I'm saying, just like the mirror, just like this. Just clean it up, paint it, and when the people drive in, they see something, man.
Well, anyway. Right now we got these.
Yep. So it'll do good. It'll kind of bring it up to date.
And then I also there's been some friction between the chamber and the Garden Club and some other people about placing signs and such. And I pointed out that That's not their responsibility. They don't have to pay for anything that breaks and all that. We all decided that a while back. And it's, hey, it's just irrigation, okay? It's not rocket science, right? And so she kind of misunderstood that. But in this particular case, I told her, hey, when we run a drip line, we get everything there, it'd be on timers, and on down the line, they're not responsible for any of that maintenance of the irrigation system, okay? And that being said, also, the chamber traditionally has used this corner here, okay, at churches for their Christmas display, and then the garden club has traditionally put up a manger display in the shell corner, okay, and obviously that stuff will remain intact. And then I think we already had an agreement that the garden club would pretty much have total use of the shell corner, but everything else is up to the city to approve. That's the plans that are in the works. So without getting into any more detail, I just want to bring that out because we had a good meeting for about an hour and a half.
Okay. Cactus Fest coming up. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
So you met with Pablo Carmona,
Right.
Any detailed high points?
Yeah, so I don't know if you all have been back to Curcio Park or not, but it looks different. They came in and moved and sanded and sifted a lot of dirt, and they've also put grass down. The grass farm right across the street has donated multiple pallets of grass.
Is it solid? Or did they space it out?
No, they're building it. So
okay.
They're building it. So they have soccer goals out there, and they're moving right along. So we had a meeting, was it yesterday? Pete and I had a meeting with them yesterday, and they're actually changing their business plan from a for-profit to a non-profit, so 501c3, and then they're doing that process and continue to recruit kids. But long story short, the project has come along pretty well.
Can I also ask about the Black Creek redevelopment? What is that about?
Yes, sir. Black Creek redevelopment. The Black Creek restaurant is currently outside of city limits. We'll be moving into city limits right behind Harrison's hardware store. Right in the same building. The back portion of it, they're remodeling. They will be inside the city limits. So we have been working with them very closely through the permit process to get them on, keep them on schedule, so they can get rebuilt and come on in town and help us out with sales tax and some good food.
Just as a matter of information, because my wife has been involved in, working with the CAPS out of Devine Acres during education field trips and things like that with them. But so I've been out there the last several weekends working with my wife on a couple of things, and I just wanted to say, I don't know whether anybody's really aware that, like, just to give you an example of the draw, and I realize that's outside of the city limits, but there was, in one day, we had 4,000 people.
Wow.
And it's almost up to that amount every single day on Friday, Saturday, and then this last the week of Columbus Day, they did Monday also.
Wow.
And I mention that because, you know, we went out to eat after that and noticed there was a lot of those people there. And obviously they're going to stop, they're going to get gas, they're going to do things. So that is a huge draw, even though they're in the counties only. They are still benefiting Devine business without a doubt. Yeah. Just one of those things until you see it firsthand, you just don't realize really how many people are going out.
Like that in the spring and the fall, yeah.
Yes, that place is huge now. It's grown.
They've had times where they have to turn people away. They get
capacity.
Last question.
Yes, sir.
Todd Grange on Willinger Track and school construction.
Right. We had to put that on hold until we met all the grant requirements, because you couldn't acquire the land before you got the grant money. That's kind of like, so that's what that process was. So I had to get, we're in the final stages of sending all the deeds over. Tom's doing the paperwork regarding that, and then we'll take the check over to officially pay for it to the title company in Castroville, and then the transaction can be completed. So,
after almost 2.5 years.
That was the land for the new groundwater storage tank.
Oh, we're buying that back or selling it back?
No, sir.
No, we just have, it has never been finalized.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I'm sorry, let me clarify. We're still building the the new well. We got a $500,000 grant from the Texas Water Development Board to build a new well on that 1 acre tract. Sorry, too many projects in my head. That's what that's for. So the city's still buying it, and we should be closing out pretty soon.
Yeah. That was one of the first things I did after I got elected, was meet with them, got them to approve it, how long it's been. So the contract work and everything else.
Between government.
Between the school lawyers and whoever.
So we have Oktoberfest coming up, as y'all aware. They're doing a 2 day or day and a half. So it'll be Halloween night, half the night, and then all day that Saturday. We have a parade, of course. The band will be here this year, which will be fun. Also, the city staff has decided we want to put a float in the parade as well to party with. To party everybody. I'm sorry, getting brave. To party with everybody else. So city staff is. We have the fun committee deciding how they're going to want to decorate the float and so forth. So we also probably going to try to put some like public works equipment, like the new street sweeper and maybe a backhoe or something in there like that.
You can start buying candy now, so you can.
The 10-inch pipe. We're ready.
Yeah, so we've been having planning meetings for that, emergency management, incident action plan. We met with organizers of the Cactus Fest, the Sultan Fest. She met with the carnival people that come down, and this year's setup is going to be a whole lot more organized and safer than the last year's setup. So we just want to make sure that everything is, everybody has a good time and everybody's safe. So.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
There you go. I was ready for some
We have a
coffee.
motion to adjourn from Jeff. Do I have a second?
Second.
Michael, second. All in favor? Let's go home.
Yeah. Basketball.